Steve Wright, the General Secretary of the Fire Brigades Union. Last week, delegates from every brigade, region and section of our union from all across the UK came together at the FBU's annual conference. And conference matters because conference is the sovereign decision-making body of our union. It's where FBU reps from across the country and all across the UK come together to debate and discuss and decide the priorities and direction of the FBU. For 3 days last week, delegates debated the issues facing our members. They debated the future of the fire and rescue service, wider political questions, and the challenges affecting working class people right across the UK and internationally. Some of our policies were reaffirmed and strengthened. Some areas saw a change in emphasis and direction, and some proposals did not secure the support of conference. Conference considered proposals from the Executive Council around ongoing work to ensure the union is properly equipped and organised for the future challenges facing our members and our service. Delegates debated those proposals, and conference ultimately decided not to support that programme of work. But that is the democracy of our union. Conference debates the issues, decisions are taken collectively, and then those decisions then shape the direction and priorities of the union moving forward. And that is exactly how a democratic union should operate. Conference decisions matter because they directly shape the priorities of the Fire Brigades Union moving forward. They set the direction for the Executive Council, they set the direction for officials, and they set the direction for me as the General Secretary. And once those decisions are taken, collectively by conference, we move forward together with clarity and focus on the priorities agreed by conference on behalf of our members. So that means concentrating our energy, concentrating our resources in organising strength on the work conference has decided should now lead the union's agenda. Conference once again reaffirmed the importance of our fight on pay and pay reform in the fire and rescue service. Because firefighters deserve fair pay, proper recognition and a pay structure that reflects the reality of the modern firefighter role after years of increased workloads, expanded responsibilities and sustained pressure on the fire and rescue service. Delegates were also clear that this union will continue fighting any and all cuts to the fire and rescue service. And we were clear, communities across the UK need properly funded, properly resourced and properly staffed fire services. Firefighters are seeing the consequences of cuts every single day. Fewer resources, increased risks and growing pressures on the front line, in our stations, in our control rooms, training centres and headquarters. So the Fire Brigades Union will continue making the case for investment in our service and for the protection of public safety. And we will fight industrially when we need to. Conference also reinforced the importance of our work around contaminants and decontamination, because firefighters are routinely exposed to dangerous toxins and carcinogens in the course of protecting the public. That is one of the biggest industrial and health issues facing our profession today. So our work on our decon project, on health monitoring, on occupational cancer remains central to the work of this union moving forward. Delegates also debated mental health, well-being and the support available to firefighters throughout their careers and beyond. That these are serious issues affecting members and their families across the UK, and conference made clear that this union must continue leading on them. But conference is also about more than industrial issues alone. The Fire Brigades Union rightly is part of the wider labour movement and part of the wider working class movement as well. So delegates also debated political issues, international solidarity and the role our union should play at a hugely important political moment for the country and across the globe. Conference supported continuing to strengthen our international firefighter links and maintaining solidarity with workers and trade unions across the world. And delegates were clear that firefighters' voices must continue to be heard loudly within the Labour movement and importantly within the Labour Party. At a time of major political change and debate about the future direction of this country, the Fire Brigades Union will continue fighting for policies that protect public services, defend workers and about investment in the fire and rescue service. But I also want to place on record and thank every delegate, observer, official and member of staff who contributed to conference last week. Not every debate ended with full agreement, and that's inevitable in a democratic organisation representing FBU members working in the UK Fire Service. There were passionate discussions, strongly held views and serious debates about the future direction of our union. But that democratic process is a strength, not a weakness. Votes are taken, decisions are made collectively, And once conference has spoken, we move forward together, focused on delivering the priorities agreed by conference on behalf of our members. That's what makes this union strong. So after a hugely important week, we're now back in the office and back to work, focused on delivering the policies and priorities set by annual conference and continuing the fight for our members all across the UK.